I like to get paid, that's why I work every day.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode on Shots Fired Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about a few different things, I think. I'm not sure. I'm kind of shooting from the hip with this one. But there's a lot of things I kind of want to talk about. But there's so much going on in the world right now that it's kind of hard. But on today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about things good old Joe says. I guess, maybe. I don't know. But you heard the latest and greatest that his uncle got eaten by cannibals. It's crazy, right? Crazy. And a plane crash in New Guinea or something like that. It's insane. Man, I hope that didn't happen to that person. But they say it didn't. They say it just crashed. He was a passenger of a plane that crashed in the ocean. And they never found him. I mean, it sucks that happened. It's not cool. But why make up stories? Why make up stories? You know? Like, why not just tell the truth? Yeah, I had an uncle pass away in an airplane crash. You know, I think people would relate a lot more than trying to make up these false narratives, I guess you could say. And it's crazy. Like, why? Like, all the things, like, we all know there's been multiple things. Old Sleepy said, that ain't true. That's not true. Like, he used to be a truck driver. Saw the bridge in Pittsburgh collapse with his own eyes. I mean, I could go on for days, probably. This is just things I'm just thinking off the top of my head. But, like, why? I don't understand why. And it's like, obviously, as Americans, we're not dumb, stupid individuals. We all have a brain and we all use it. We're all very smart. But why? What makes them think people would, like, come on, dude. Right to our faces? And I don't know if that's just a compulsive liar. Is that what they're called? Compulsive liars? The people that just lie all the time? Or is it his senileness? Because you know older people, when they start forgetting shit and they think something happened, but really this is what happened, you know, that kind of happens, you know. Not even with just old people, but things like that do happen. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't get it. It's just crazy. But that kind of just leads me into something, creating a false narrative, right? And this is what I was saying. There's so much things going on in the world. And I'm going to try to stay away from that and just kind of go a different direction with this one a little bit. And that one we're going to talk about, it might be, some of y'all might not like it. Some of y'all might disagree with me. And that's perfectly fine. And we can have this conversation. Y'all can comment in the comments below what y'all think about it. But talking about creating false narratives, we're going to talk about Charlamagne the God. I don't even like calling him Charlamagne the God because he's not a god. He's just Charlamagne, but that's not here nor there. But for a while now, so speaking of Charlamagne, right, I used to listen to The Breakfast Club every day. You know, for a while, I enjoyed it. I don't say I enjoyed it, but I did listen to it every morning on my way to work. That's just a radio station that I listened to. And DJ Envy and stuff, like, I liked him. And, you know, things like that. But some of the things that Charlamagne was saying, I was like, man, this is off the wall. This dude got to be off his rocker. And then he come out with, like, books and all this other stuff. And he's doing good for himself. And I'm glad, you know, kudos to you for that. But some of the shit that he says is just asinine, right? Everybody that doesn't agree with what he has to say is either an Uncle Tom, a bigot, or you racist. And that is just crazy to me. Like, if you just don't agree with what he says, he takes it far, high and right, whatever you want to call it. And I started, you know, I think whenever I first started not liking it, well, kind of stopped listening to it so much. Because I would tune in, you know, I listened to it every day. And then I was like, I don't know if I'm really feeling this. So I started tuning out, but I would tune in here and there. And I kind of liked, like, people would call in, like, you know, they do, you can call in and, you know, what's your complaint of the day, or what are you happy for today? Whatever, they have these different things that they do, which is cool. I like that. And that's part of the reason why I listen to him. And people would call, like regular people like you and I would just call him on his bullshit. And I thought that shit was hilarious. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I thought that shit was hilarious. But the thing that really, I think, started getting me like, all right, I'm done with this, is that he was so negative all the time, right? He was always so negative and always into that drama. Like, he tried to make drama, which is pretty much trolling, right? That's what trolling is. And I think maybe, I don't know him personally, I don't know how he really is in real life, but maybe that's like his persona on the radio, or, that's how he gets views, is being negative. And some people do that stuff. Some people do things to create views, and maybe that's what he's good at, and that's what he trolls, and that's what he does. But when he started calling people like jars of mayonnaise, like white people, jars of mayonnaise and shit, like, I know it's funny, I laugh about it because it is funny, but like, how can you sit there and call a white person a jar of mayonnaise on the radio, live broadcast, or I don't even know if it's live or pre-recorded. It's probably live, I guess, I'd assume. I don't know. And that'd be okay. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. And nobody seems to care, And that, I mean, it goes along with a lot of other stipulations and things like that. Like, I'm not really trying to go down the wormhole, the racism thing, and talk about, things like that. Because we all know racism is a real thing. And if you don't, and if you think it only happens to one group of people, you're completely wrong. Everybody gets treated differently. Racism can go and does go towards every single race. So if you don't recognize that, you need to open your eyes and see it. Racism as a whole is bad, but everybody does get treated poorly because of it. But keep going. Like, and I start looking into some of his podcasts that they do for the show. Like, they do get obviously famous people on there. And some of them I was like, I didn't even know about. Like, whenever he did the, I think, what's her name? The comedian Monique. And he was like, called her gave her the donkey. That's another thing he does. He gives people like donkey of the day and stuff like that. But, which I don't even disagree with that. Sometimes some people, you're just like, yeah, you need that one, my boy. Like, but I think those are things that I like the show for, is I liked, hearing in and getting filled in with things like that and hearing different people's opinions. And that's kind of why I started this. But, when he gave her donkey of the day and then she got on the show and pretty much, I don't want to say embarrassed him, but pretty much embarrassed him to his face. And she's not the only one to do that shit. I was just like, damn, he's a troll, and people feed off of that. And I think it's crazy, like calling her donkey today because she denied a Netflix deal. I think it was for like $5 million whenever other female, I guess you call them artists, comedians. I can't remember the white girl's name, Amy something. She got like 20 mil or something like that for a Netflix deal. Dave Chappelle, I think, got like 20 mil. And she was like, that was her way to protest Netflix and saying like, hey, you need to support black women more and stop not giving them so much money. And with somebody on a platform like Charlamagne has, you think he would support that instead of saying, giving her donkey of the day, right? And how you so pro your ethnicity, you think you would support somebody that was, pretty much boycotting Netflix, saying, I don't even know if I could say Netflix on this. I probably get it taken down. Who cares at this point? I don't. But you think you would support that? I know I would. I would be like, yeah. I mean, you're a great comedian. You've been around a long time. Why are you not getting as much money? And that kind of goes along the lines with the WNBA. Now, I do kind of understand more into why the WNBA do not get paid as much money as the NBA. A lot of that goes with views, franchises, how much money are they bringing in? If they're not bringing in as much money as the NBA, obviously you're not going to get paid as much. It kind of goes along with, like the CFL, and then you got the new UFL and all that stuff like that. Like, they're not making that much money. The talent is there. I'm not saying they're not talented, because they're very talented, but they're not bringing in, the league as a whole is not bringing in as much money to be able to put money out, right? So that's just a smart business deal. Like, if I'm only making, let's just say, if I'm only making $100,000 a year off of this business, why am I going to pay you more than what I'm making? It's not going to work. But that's a different conversation, right? That's a whole different conversation that we can talk about. If y'all want to hear about it, just let me know. But back to Charlamagne, right? So Charlamagne, he does the whole donkey today, calls white people jars of mayonnaise and all that other shit, mayo. Like, if y'all know me, you could probably understand why I don't really agree with that term. But at first I was just like, man, this dude racist. He don't like white people, and that's what I thought. And that was my first opinion of it. And I was like, man, this is jacked up. I'm not going to listen to this fool no more, because he's a fool. And then I started, learning and doing my research and just paying attention to what's going on. And I just don't think he likes himself. Like, let's be real. I think he's a poser. I think he tries to pretend to be something that he's not. And because he be clowning I don't want to say clowning, because he's not clowning. He's making himself look like a clown. That's what it is. That's what they need to do, is clown of the day. Charlamagne, that's you today. Hey, we should start that. Should we start that? Clown of the day. You ain't nothing but a clown, my boy. Charlamagne. But no, like he got, what was it? Beanie Siegel fucking pretty much told him, hey, you ain't certified. You ain't got the street cred, so watch what the fuck you saying. And I agree with that. Like, and there's a lot of, people that go on the show and they try to manipulate. And I think it's a lot of, I hate to say it, but I think it's politically driven, right? If you are part of a big, a lot of people listen to the Breakfast Club. I'm sure millions of people do. I don't know, but I'm sure there's a lot. And so they drive a certain agenda. And you see the same thing with the news channels. Like, if you watch CNN versus Fox or, NBC or whatever, they all drive different agendas according to what political party that channel, I guess, represents, and they probably get money from that shit. So maybe that might be part of the reason, but I don't, because he does get political people on his platform. I don't even want to say it. I mean, is it his show? I don't know. It seems to be like he's the main one, and DJ Envy kind of just gets, in the background, lost in the sauce. But I like DJ Envy, because he do be calling him on some shit sometimes too. But and then what was the other one that you said? Angelique. I liked her too. I don't think she's on there anymore though. I don't really listen to it at all anymore. So, but I might start listening to it again to see what it's about. But so at first, like I said, I thought he was racist against. He didn't like white people, and if that's your cup of tea, that's your cup of tea. Like, I don't care. It ain't what you feel towards other different races and different ethnicities or different kinds of people. That's your opinion. I don't care. But I'm not going to support you, because obviously our views, our listens, all the things when you tune into that channel, that helps that station or whatever. I'm not going to support it, if that's how I feel. So that's what I did. But then I started doing a little research and listening to other things and seeing different interviews and things like that. And across the board, this man is just disgruntled. Like, I think he don't like himself. I truly do. Like, I get it. Like, people can say, no, I love myself and this, and the other. And that's good. That's good. But deep down inside, I don't think he likes himself. And that's why he just be starting shit with so many other people. And that's just maybe that's the name of his game. Maybe trolling, because trolling is a thing. I be trolling people too sometimes, just fucking around, like with friends and stuff. We all be trolling, and I be getting trolled too. I'll be the first to admit it. I be getting trolled sometimes too. But like for real, like how do you like? And it's so funny to me because he flips the script so fast. Like he'll be pushing one agenda, and supporting it and saying if you don't believe in this, you full of shit, and he don't want to hear nothing you got to say, and he'll talk over you and won't even let you, say anything. And then once the truth comes out about this certain agenda, he'll flip quick as fuck and won't even apologize for it. Because there are the times where you think something's right, and you're like, yeah, I support that shit. I've done it. We all have. And then the truth comes out and you're like, man, they bamboozled me. They got me. And you just got to acknowledge it. I apologize. I didn't know what was really behind the curtain and keep it moving. But he don't never do that shit. He be doing half-ass apologies like, oh, this, that, and the other. But fuck you too. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's crazy. And I didn't even really want to talk about this today. I kind of did, but it's kind of controversial. And I don't know if I should really go that in depth with it all. Because there's a lot. Like, there really is a lot that I've been looking up on. And they get a lot of, famous people. They get Candace Owens, which I feel like she one of them people that either you love her or you hate her. I don't think there's an in-between. I mean, there's always an in-between. But I think she speaks facts sometimes. And people don't like her because she speaks the truth. But I don't know. I don't follow her all like that. But things I see of her, I'll be like, damn. And then Vivek, the dude that was trying to run for presidency that dropped out, he was on there. Like, they get a lot of higher up people, I guess you could say. They'll get them on there, and they try to get them to say things that they want them to say. But then, they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to go down there. Just like the one with Post Malone. I know everybody's seen the one with Post Malone, where you're trying to get him to say the N-word, trying to make fun of him because he had braids in his hair, and trying to say he was, what did he say? Trying to do something about, something with the culture. I don't remember what it was. Something crazy. But Post Malone obviously handled it well, as we all seen. Because it could have went south quick. It could have went bad. Like, it could have, it can go both ways, just depending on how you handle things. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't think I like him. I know I don't like him. I don't hate him. I ain't going to say that because hate's a strong word. But I won't listen to his radio or read his books or anything like that. Because he tries to push this agenda on people, and then whenever you kind of steer clear through it, I guess you could say, he tries to hit you with other stuff. And it's like, for what? Why are you trolling these people? Like, these people are famous people. Like, and it's not, they got musicians on there, rappers, all that stuff like that. Actors, comedians, sports, people that are professional athletes, all that stuff. Why try to make them look bad? I don't understand why. And a lot of I don't want to say journalists, but a lot of people that have that kind of platform, I guess you could say, like people like him, that have a platform that they can interview people on. They try to do that. And I don't understand why. Like, why not just get the facts? Like, if you have questions and you really want to know about something, obviously ask it. But if it's not the answer that you was looking for, or that you thought that the person was going to give, why do they try to hit you from the left or the right with another question, but meaning the same thing? Like, it don't make sense to me. I don't get it. So, and maybe that's a tactic they teach. I don't know. I never went to school for stuff like this or interviewing or anything like that. Maybe that's stuff they teach to try to get the truth out of people. I don't know. But I think it's wrong. And let me know what y'all think about Charlamagne and the whole Breakfast Club show. Obviously, like I said, I like the people. I like the show. There's just one individual I don't like, and that's Charlamagne. And I'm going to say his name about 10 more times so y'all know I don't like Charlamagne. Because, I mean, for real, like, he be talking all that junk. but I feel like somebody just needs to give him the fade. Somebody like what the hell them two idiots' names? Oh, the Island Boys. That's what it is. How the hell? So somebody please explain to me how the Island Boys got famous. I remember here when I first heard about them was that stupid ass little Island Boy song or whatever the fuck it is. I'm just an island boy. You know that? You all know what I'm talking about. But obviously they probably had a little bit of money before that. And I don't think they're rich. Now, I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I ain't looking at this as something that, like I said, just came up to me. I just started thinking about it. I don't think they're rich. Maybe all that money they be walking around with is all the money they got. They just be carrying stacks with them because they don't want to put it in the bank, or they just want to flex and look away, you know? But maybe they do got a bunch of some money. I don't know. But how? Like, and then that's what I'm saying. Them young bucks need to catch a fade too by somebody, and everybody that be interviewing them. And I get you don't want to, make yourself look bad or anything like that. But I'm telling you right now, if y'all got the Soldier Boys, Island Boys, my bad, Soldier Boy, I ain't mean nothing about you, Island Boys, on my show, and they tried to flex on me talking about what you gonna do, I'm gonna hit you with the lick real quick. Like, you better believe it, both of them, and they security too, because ain't no way, my boy, ain't happening. And these other people that be on these podcasts and stuff be like, no, man, chill out. Like, why you so mad right now? You just need to try with the right one, because you trying with all the wrong ones. You know what I'm saying? But on that note, I hope y'all had a great weekend. Have a blessed Sunday. And I don't know, maybe next week we'll do a little bit more on current events or what's actually going on in the world, because there is a lot. I'm trying to steer away from so much of the drama, because there's so much going on right now, and there's a lot, and it's so wishy-washy, and nobody really knows what's going on, I feel like. But I know y'all should look into the man outside the courthouse in New York that unalived himself. Look into his manifesto. I don't know if it's true. I mean, I read some of it. I don't know what he's saying true. I ain't look into it, but I don't know. Hey, and always shoot your shot. Peace.
I like to get paid, that's why I work every